This is Crystal Jackson. Welcome to Recipe Night tonight. Thank you for joining us via YouTube, even though you weren't able to be here. I hope you find the information this evening helpful. We're going to go ahead and get started, and we're actually doing the chicken enchilada skillet tonight in the 11-inch ceramic skillet. I'm going to go off some things that I've learned on other videos that have been super helpful for me, so I want to pass it along to you. So here's my little workstation, so I'll try to look at you occasionally and everybody else. So to get started with, we've already preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and the next thing we need to do is cook the chorizo. And so right now the 11-inch skillet is preheating, so I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the skillet while it's preheating. It has become one of my absolute favorite items that Pampered Chef carries in the cookware line, because most of us already have either a non-stick line, or we have stainless, and we have the big 12-inch, we have a stir fry, we have all the normal things, but we don't have this size, which we all know what we're talking about here, the 11-inch skillet. We don't have this unique size, which is basically, you've got your 12-inch, it's really wide, and then most of us have our stir fry, which is really deep. So it's like they took the two of them together, squeezed it in a bit, and pushed it up, and then you have this awesome 11-inch. And so it's very unique, and so it's something that you can offer to your customers that they can't find in other places. And so that's something that I'm learning to utilize even more, is offer them things that they can't find everywhere else. And plus, the fact that you can get a skillet with a lid for $100, and it works on top of the stove and goes in directly into the oven. So you start a recipe on top of the stove, you finish in the oven. You don't have to worry about messing up another piece of cookware or anything else, casserole dish, anything like that. If you're like me, the less time in the kitchen, the better, and the less time with my hands in that sink are even better than that. So that's my favorite part about it. The cookware is absolutely amazing. It's very lightweight, and so if someone doesn't really like stainless, they don't really like the non-stick because maybe they don't prefer the coating, well, you have ceramic. It doesn't have either one of those, but it's still a great quality product that everybody that I've introduced it to has absolutely loved, and I have them growing their collection at different parties. So we've preheated that, and we're going to go ahead and add in our chorizo. Okay, and the nice thing about the cookware is when you get ready to use it, if you've preheated it, the entire pan is ready to go. So the bottom is heated evenly, the sides are heated, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about part of it being preheated and having to move your chicken around kind of in a musical chairs, because one part of your pan never cooks the same. So that's a really great thing about Pampered Chef cookware. So how long do we need to let this cook, Elizabeth?
7 to 9 minutes.
7 to 9 minutes. Okay. So we're going to let this cook. I'm just going to start that so I don't forget how much time is up there. And then, is anyone familiar with our fix and chop?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. We love it. This is perfect for when you're using it for ground beef or sausage, or like this for chorizo, just to kind of break it up to get everything really small, especially with your hamburger meat and your sausage. It works great to get those crumbles all the way down so they're the same size. You're not fighting it, with a spoon or a spatula, because to me, when you use those things, it just jumps across the pan and laughs at you. It's not doing anything, it's just laughing. So we're going to kind of turn this down just a little bit so it doesn't splatter everywhere, and let that kind of cook. Jennifer, would you mind being responsible for this and just kind of stirring it around so it doesn't stick? Thank you so much. Okay, what's our next step, Elizabeth?
Next, we're going to add onion to the chorizo, and then we're going to cook that 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Well, we've already gotten some onion, a little bit of onion chopped up, and then we're going to do the rest of it in our manual food processor, which is now coming in the new consultant kit. So again, lucky y'all. I'm so excited for y'all that you get it. And the great thing about the manual food processor is most small processors like this, they have even blades on the bottom. And so if you don't take the lid off constantly and stir it around, then the food on the bottom is going to turn to mush, and you're not going to be happy with that. So with ours, it has 3 offset blades, and so you don't have to worry about taking the lid off quite as much to stir it around and keep the food from turning to mush on the bottom. So we're just going to pop some stuff in here. It's got a nice gripper on the bottom, so it holds firm to the counter. And you just get going. Now, it is manual, so you are responsible for how fast and how good of a chop you get. So if you just want a coarse chop, you do it a little bit, like I've done so far. We want it a little bit more, so I'm just going to keep going for finer chop. Okay, so we are good to go on that. We're just going to let that finish cooking a little bit and go ahead and measure out our enchilada sauce. I've opened one can. Has anybody used our can opener?
I have one that I use.
Yes. Bonnie, do you love it?
I do love it.
Has anybody else not used it that would like to come use it? Trust me, if I didn't use this thing, if I wasn't shown at a party how to use it, I never would have figured it out. So, Angela, you want to come up?
Figure it out.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to put it on, because as you can see, it's not going to actually latch on. So you put it on and start turning. So just rest it there and start turning the top. And you feel it pick it up. And then you just keep going, and you'll kind of feel the tension release a little bit, and that's when you know it's gone all the way around. And then to actually release it from the can, you turn it the opposite direction, and it'll release it. So, and there's, do what? Oh, you're good to go. And so it goes around the bottom part, so you don't have those cuts like you do with a regular can opener, so you don't have to worry about you or anybody else in the family getting cut. So I'm just going to measure out 2 cups of this. Is that correct, Elizabeth?
That is correct.
2 cups? All right, perfect. What else do we need to do while this is working its stuff?
We have the tortilla chips.
I got the tortilla chips ready. It's just 6 cups of coarsely crumbled tortilla chips.
The diced tomatoes.
Okay, we've done a little bit of the diced tomatoes. Has anybody not used our knives that would love to try them out? I love volunteers, but I am happy to call on somebody. I am. You're just going to leave me up here all by myself. Okay, so just chop up our tomatoes real quick. Nothing fancy about that. Our knives are absolutely amazing. I absolutely love them. Made out of German steel, the highest quality steel that you can find. They're extremely sharp. They go all the way from the blade goes all the way from one end to the other, so it's not a cookie cutter piece that you got to worry about falling apart over time. You know, the handle can fall apart. Very sharp, lifetime guarantee. Good quality knife does not go in the dishwasher. That will void your warranty real quick. So just don't stick it in the dishwasher. Happy day. And then down the road, if anything happens to it, Pampered Chef will replace it. Okay, so I think we've done most everything. Okay, so while we're just waiting on this to kind of finish up, I want to talk to y'all about the grill pan and press as well. Who has the grill pan and press?
Just got it.
Yay! Okay, this thing is awesome. I absolutely love it. If you don't have it, you still have time in April to be your own host and get it at 60% off, and I highly, highly recommend it because it is an incredible piece, and when you start using it at your parties, you will notice that people, A, either want to book parties to be able to get it as a host, or B, they will just flat out buy it right there at the party. And so when you show them what it can do, it is worth the fact that you took the time to have your own party and get it yourself. So, the grill pan and press are part of the executive nonstick cookware line, so it is lifetime guarantee. This part of it is very lightweight. If you pick them up together, this is the heavy part, the presses, because it's made out of cast iron. So when you're getting ready to use your grill pan, the best thing to do is to put it on the stove, preheat it medium to high heat for 5 minutes. I literally set my timer so I don't have to worry about it, and I know for a fact that it's been 5 minutes at the end. I go over to it, and I'll hold my hand probably right about here, make sure that it's hot enough. If you can touch the pan, it's clearly not hot enough, and you need to turn up the heat and leave it for a little bit longer. So while it's preheating, and like I said, I do put the press in it, so both of them are preheating at the same time. While it's preheating, I go ahead and I get my chicken ready. So if I haven't already cut off the fat, I cut off the fat. I put it in a Ziploc baggie, usually a gallon size. I go ahead and tenderize my meat. You want to make sure that you tenderize your meat because that not only, excuse me, gets the chicken so that it's even all the way across. You don't have a fat part of the breast and then a smaller part, but it also works on tenderizing those muscles that are inside the chicken. And so as you start tenderizing and flatten it out, creates these little pockets, and that's where the juice in the chicken stays. So if you don't do that, then typically your juice ends up running out of your chicken all over the plate. It's not as tender, it's not as juicy as you would like it to be. So tenderize your chicken, leave it in the baggie, put your oil, whether it be olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever you prefer. I prefer olive oil, in the bag with the chicken. Or if you want to lay it out on a cutting board, that's fine. But put it directly on the meat. because as you can see in the pan, we have little grooves. So if you lay it directly in here, what's going to happen? It's going to go in the grooves, never going to touch the chicken, and it's just going to burn. And so that's not going to have the effect that you want it to. So time out on the grill pan and press. What's our next step?
We are going to throw in the onions and cook them for 3 to 4 minutes.
Throw in the oven.
Onions.
In the oven. Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. Okay, so y'all take a look real quick. You see this orange and how it's just coming off this white skillet? This is a great thing to show people at parties how easily it comes off this white skillet, because, you know, a lot of us are wondering in our head. I wondered it when I first saw this. There's no way that's coming clean. No way. And as you can tell, it just kind of rolls right off of it. I love the skillet. Okay, so we're going to throw in our onion. Okay, and this just needs to be for what, 3 or 4 minutes?
3 to 4 minutes, yeah.
Okay. You're in charge again. You didn't know I was going to put you in charge, did you? Okay, so back to the grill pan and press. So you've tenderized your chicken, you've put oil on it in the baggie, and then I also put my seasoning, whatever I want. I might put it on in the bag, take it out on the cutting board, whatever. But when you're ready to put it in the pan, you know, just pick up your press, put the chicken directly in it, and then you put the press on top of it. So since you've preheated the press, it's hot and ready to go. So it's going to cook the chicken from the top, and then the weight of it is pushing it into the pan, so it's cooking it faster from the bottom. So you preheat the pan for 5 minutes, you cook it on one side for 3, you flip it over, you cook it for 2 to 3 more, and you're done. So that is chicken, grilled chicken in 10 minutes, and it's absolutely amazing. And your guests will see how amazing it is. Because I love to, when I get ready to turn it over, I take off the press and I show them, you know, see how white this is, you know, how pretty it is. And then we flip over the chicken and they see the beautiful grill marks, and they are super impressed that we got those beautiful grill marks inside the house. I am terrified of the outdoor grill, so I hardly ever touch it. That is Taylor's thing, not my thing. And so I stay in here, and he's actually gotten to where he uses the grill pan and press quite a bit. And so I use it for burgers, I use it for chicken, grilled shrimp, grilled vegetables. The paninis are amazing, all of it. It is a great product, and it's, again, very unique to be able to offer to your customers. And another thing that I've had quite a few people tell me is that since ours has sides, and a lot of other grill pans that are out there don't have sides, they don't like those because their kitchen, their whole family room, house ends up smelling like whatever it is they're cooking, because it sneaks out the side, and this also helps keeping it from splattering everywhere. So
Excuse me, Crystal.
Yes.
Is it like, how much smoke does it create?
I don't have any smoke when I'm using it. The smoke, the only time I've had it is when I put oil directly in this pan and it was burning on the bottom. I'll be honest, I did it once. I didn't do it again. So that's why you want to put your oil directly on your meat so that it doesn't get down in those little grooves, and then it's just going to cook off, create smoke, and burn. Yeah.
The secret is not to let it get too hot, because if you do let it overheat, then you will get some smoking in the beginning. So be careful not to let your pan get too hot. Just medium-high heat, for 5 minutes.
So that's, I love the grill pan and press, and I know a lot of us are usually scared to offer higher priced items at parties. Nobody will buy it. You know, we're nervous about these things. There are people sitting in those rooms that will buy it, or it creates the desire to have a party to get it at half price. The very first night I started offering this, I had someone buy it right off the bat. Next party I did it at, they wanted to book a party to be able to get it at 60% off. So it's definitely worth showing it at your parties. And that was even me just doing a couple of chicken breasts, grilling them up, offering a few sauces to dip it with. I did a little sip and dip party, and they tried it out and they wanted the pan. So it's absolutely amazing. I love it.